another grim fairy tale. It's called The Story That Does Not End. Be brave. Once there was a young man who was lazy and didn't want to go and do the things he was supposed to do on the farm where he lived, but he would go out and pretend to do that every day. And by pretend, I mean he would go out and he would fall asleep somewhere out in the pasture. He would go out there and he would do that, and that's where he would go. And he'd come back in at the end of the day, and people would say, "Well, what have you been doing?" And he said, "Well, I've been working very hard." But he wasn't. He was sleeping. He was sleeping. And this is what he would do. He'd go from that section and sleep, and the next day he'd go to that section and sleep, and the next day he'd go to that section and sleep, and he'd sleep in all kinds of different places until one day he settled himself in a place he had never slept in before, and he just laid himself down right there on that grass, and he began to take on his long day of doing nothing. But he couldn't, because there was something in the ground underneath. There was something below where he was laying. He couldn't quite figure out what that was down there, but he thought, well, he had heard of something called work, and he knew that if he went and got a tool, maybe he could dig out what was down below there. It sounded like a lot, but who knows what it could be. And so he went back to the barn. He got some tools, and he began to dig. He began to dig. He began to work and work until he hit something. And he took those tools and he moved away the dirt and he cleared it away. And there, in the ground, was a golden box. And so he lifted that golden box from the ground. He took it out and he lifted it and he tossed it next to the hole. And there, on that golden box, was a golden lock. And he thought, if there's a golden lock, maybe there's a golden key. And so he went back to that hole he had dug, and he dug some more and dug some more. When scrape, he hit something. He reached in, he pulled out the golden key he found, and he took that golden key and he stuck it in that lock. And he turned that lock, and it clicked open. He opened that lock, and then he opened that box. Now, imagine the treasures that he found inside that day. See, the story doesn't end. The Grimm brothers leave it right there. And they ask you, imagine the treasures you found inside that day. So whatever it is that you're seeking, whatever it is that you're looking for, whatever it is you're doing in business or school, whatever you're doing, what's inside the box that's waiting for you? And that's the story from the Brothers Grimm that never ends.